I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. Now they see me out in public and be known what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just wanna be stable, tell my family we made it. I was coming for my spot, a young... Say I'm constipated, 5 racks on his fit just to stop while I'm in Vegas. On my body, shout out to my Caleb Young. Got the cake up, now he's on a data. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights I just to hit the studio. Now me and steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now it in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo.
In these dirty vans, clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one.
First down there. Need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw is Watson. A screen to Bell. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give them 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Third and long, it's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That one complete. He finds Sharp. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. This play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Play action. It's Jackson. Now he's forced out right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw on 2nd is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bell. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On first down, it's Watson. Open man is Uzomah. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
He's going to air one out. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. When you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Back to throw, Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Bengals on a roll now. It's another first down. A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Watson now to throw. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll pitch it out to Bell. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On third down, here's Bell. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. And Bullock will put this one through alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the... So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Anytime you eclipse 100 yards rushing, you deserve the acclaim that comes with it, and he got it. AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week.
And wasn't up around 200, wasn't in a crazy, crazy game, but very good, solidly in that driver's seat to win that award, and he did. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Four down. Check, check. He's coming.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll try and sneak it here. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So the D-line got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call. But as you noted, if they didn't get the push, you can't get in there. There's no place for him to go. And that's why the whole play got stuffed.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every defensive position able to affect the play.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Watson. Trying to lay one up deep. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful. I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They go play action here on 1st down. A dump off to Elliott. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Over.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And Green with a catch left side. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. A good chance this is 4 down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gun.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, 30, the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for the Bengals TD.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, a Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
Now Jackson on second down. Flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. On the toss, Bernard. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Bullock missed it. No good. Wide to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
3-19!
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Lucky 56. All right, here we go. 3-19.
To throw on 2nd down. Jackson. And he slings one that's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Ravens on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Escaping the pressure right. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Oh, twisting away. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On second down, here's Watson. He's going to launch this thing way down into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Where's 52?
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to air one out. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. DJ Chark in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. A give to Bell. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 40.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
You don't want no problem. You don't want no problem from me.
Again, it's Elliott. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go now.
Jackson on first down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Gone! All right, here we go.
Now Jackson on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Here we go now.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. DJ Chark with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball, and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field. That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out
exactly.
there. But the 9 picks,
you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. That is caught at the 7th. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A.J. Green, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. Tucker now to add the point after. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. So that one will be accepted. A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. The give is to Bell. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 3rd down, that's Bell. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On 2nd down, Elliott. Elliott a 1st down and more. And all the way up to the 46. 31 yards there and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Kill.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Flush to his right. And an alley to run. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, Almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run, too. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The Ravens on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Jackson. Shark's got it. Left side. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Elliott, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 17th touchdown now on the season, and the Ravens will extend their lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On 3rd down, it's Bell. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that to the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
Hey.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They start on the ground with Elliott. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Sam Cook now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll make it a second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making them do it that way, didn't they?
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Taken in at the 11. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go now. Green 39.
2nd down, here's an option right. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Watson. A screen to Bell. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, it's Bell. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Hurry up, here we go.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They go to Elliott again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Again to Elliott. Oh, the spin. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Ravens, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, it's just their second loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.